when they get ready to apply for a job, I didn't know, actually, until last week when I was at Pickens County Library, and a young lady there named Flanagan's her last name, Cindy, I think, teaches a course. It's a one-day, 3-hour course or something for individuals in the community to come in and learn about job-seeking skills. She says that almost every job now requires a resume. I did not know that to be true. I thought only basically white-collar jobs did that and everything else filled out an application. She said no. And she says some of the most frustrated people with whom I work are people that have been working as a car mechanic or they've been working in a textile mill. That's all they've ever done. They never did a resume, and now they're being told to get the same kind of job, you gotta have a resume, and they don't have a clue what to do. So if you are using our system, you can create a resume automatically just by keying in the information. And I'll show you mine in just a minute, but when I'm ready to add a new resume, I just tell the system that, and it's going to have me key in information in the typical areas, my work experience, my education, any special skills that I have, any awards I may have been given, special affiliations in the community, references, etc. It's a typical resume type question. I do need to name my resume something. I have this very clever name, my resume, because I have only one resume in there. But if I have several resumes, and young people typically do, I would name this one, say, my pharmaceutical sales resume, my medical equipment sales resume, my hospital management resume. So, because those resumes would differ a little bit depending on the job I was applying for. So I give my resume a name, and then I just start filling in the information. What is the experience that I have? It's going to want to know who my employer was, what my title was, city and state in which I was working, and when I began. All of those are required fields. Obviously, I don't have to put in an ending date. I may still be employed there. And then if I want to, I can put in a description of my job, but I don't have to. There is a spell check here. And I do that for each one of these that is appropriate. My education activities, as you see, awards, skills, references, etc. Now, when I am ready to actually print out that resume, I can have the trash can means I'm going to delete it. I don't want to delete that. I'm going to edit this one with the pencil. And my resume is not fleshed out very well. I just threw some stuff in there so I could show you how this works. But I get to choose the format that I want for my resume and the style, the way I want it to look on the page. Chronological format works well for most people, but not all. If I have been without a job for any length of time, or I'm the housewife that stayed home to rear children for 15 years and now I want to re-enter the marketplace, that functional resume will work better for me because a functional resume is going to start with my skills rather than my experience. Now they're going to get my experience, but that's not going to, the gap in my work experience is not going to be the first thing they see. If there is no interruption, chronological is fine. It's going to start with the experience. And I can choose a style. Basic is not really a style. That's where you're saving everything you ever did. And then when you get ready to build the resume, you go in there and remove what's not appropriate and save it under another name. Your styles are really contemporary, elegant, professional, so it's on chronological professional. If I want to see what that looks like on the page, I tell it I want the printable view. And that's the way that looks on the page. And if I don't like that, I can say, well, let's see what the elegant one looks like. We'll see chronological and elegant. Now, anybody without having a portfolio can use these links up here. Career planning links, there's an occupational search here, college planning links. You see the things included there, and then paying for college, we have scholarship database, etc. Anybody can use those. I'm not even in a portfolio. I have researched this for the 6 years I've been working for Cooter. Nationwide, every year, the #1 work value for people has been creativity. It comes out on top far and away higher than other things. In our state, that has been true every year, but this year, and the last time I checked, having variety in the work you do was number one, followed by creativity. So what do kids do? They get out of high school, they get more training to get this job that, relatively speaking, is going to make them a lot of money, and they hate it. Why? It doesn't let me be creative. There's no variety in what I do. I grew up in High Point, North Carolina, back in the day when there were lots of textile mills. I never researched it, but I am reasonably sure I could have gotten a job at one of those textile mills and ultimately made as much, if not more money, than I was making teaching English. I am equally sure at the end of 2 weeks I would have been crazy. Because if you put me there doing nothing but this all day, I couldn't do that. So this is important for young people to take in high school and again in college, because it will change something.